Nick Maruchak joins us from MKI Legal. Good to see you, Nick. How are you today, mate?
I'm great. Thanks, Bowie.
That's the way. We've got a call straight up. If you have a legal question for Nick, please make yourself known. 133 882. Hello, Julie.
Hi, Simon. Hi, Nick. Nick, you often talk about parking fines, how it's not worth them chasing you up. How do you go with missed doctor's appointments? My 19-year-old thought she'd cancelled and didn't, and now they're trying to chase her for a missed appointment fee.
Yeah, so there is a case I do recall where someone actually challenged a parking fine and took it very far. They took it to the Supreme Court. And when I was reading that case a few months ago, and basically he basically didn't pay a fine because he had to attend a job interview, and he tried to argue this was some sort of emergency, because an emergency can be a defense in these type of situations. And he actually lost because that wasn't an adequate emergency. So in your case, if you want to try and challenge this, you would really want some sort of sudden hospitalization or some extreme medical event. If you're just going to the doctor's appointment and you're not actually sick yourself, or a family member's not in critical injury, then this defense of emergency probably won't cut it. And in his case, it's actually quite a sad story, because he was prosecuted by the council and he lost. And then in that circumstance, he had to pay a bunch of legal fees. Can't remember exactly what he paid, but it's in the thousands, right? Maybe 3,000-5,000 for losing the case. So you're not just risking the parking fine when you challenge these councils, you're also risking the legal fees.
So with the doctor's appointment, it would a similar sort of set of legal principles apply, Nick?
Yeah, so it's like so the defense would be like there's an emergency defense in the criminal code.
Was there an emergency, Julie?
No, she just thought she'd cancelled it, but she hadn't. And then they've charged her, and she's only 19, so I tried to plead with them saying, does she have to pay? And they keep calling me about it, and I thought I'd just ask whether...
So there's another defense called mistake of fact under the criminal code. So that's if you're mistaken about a factual circumstance. Now, it's very different to mistaken of law. So mistake of law is like, oh, you thought you were allowed to park here and you're not allowed to. No, that doesn't apply. Mistake of fact is some sort of factual, you have to have an honest belief and a reasonable belief that something applied. So if your daughter had an honest belief that she cancelled the parking ticket, is that right? Or
no, it's a doctor's appointment.
So how is that related to the ticket, though?
It's not. She's saying she's cancelled she's saying she's heard you talk about parking tickets before, and how would you go with cancelling a doctor's appointment, Julie?
Sorry, I went down a wrong track.
Yeah, you did.
Sorry.
Hey, Julie, is it like $80-$90 or something? Is it?
No, it's half of that, but it's more the principal because she's only 19, and I'll pay it for her.
I was going to say, Julie, I'm probably like you. I reckon I know who's going to pay that.
Okay, so that's a completely different story, Julie. Julie, that's in contract law. So basically, if the medical practice told you up front that this is the cancellation fee, and your daughter agreed to it, and then she breaches the contract and doesn't honor it, then they're entitled to recover a reasonable estimate of their losses, right?
So it sounds like it's half.
Yeah, so like that is so it's like the lost opportunity for that doctor to make the money, right? So that's probably it sounds
not
like
much you can do.
Yeah, so it probably sounds like they're probably entitled to recover it. The reality is this, though. If you don't pay it, what's going to happen? Well, the reality is probably nothing. They're not going to go and commence a claim in the magistrate's court against you, because that's what they have to do. They have to file a claim, and it'll cost them $300, something like that, just to file it and fight it. And if the claim is under $10,000, they can't recover their costs. So that's your correct answer, Julie. Sorry, I went down a completely wrong track. So the answer is, look, if you want to take a small risk, don't pay it, and fingers crossed, they actually don't do anything. They might send you a scary debt collector's letter, but unless they're really serious and close to filing it, you can just probably escape scot-free if you're lucky. If they're really serious and go hard on this, then they have lawyers, then you might want to maybe pay it close to the time they file it. Yeah, because if they file the claim, it can affect the credit record, right? So just be aware of that. That's on your record.
And the other thing is, you might want to continue going to that doctor, right, Julie?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was going to say. They'll probably ban her from coming.
Oh, they will. Yeah.
So the other part of it too, Julie, and I've heard Jason Featherby, who used to be my friend before he went on Ollie's show, he often says, this notion of, I suppose teaching your kids what, a little bit of self-responsibility, to be brutal. So it's a tricky one, isn't it? I end up paying lots of stuff like this for one of my kids in particular, Julie.
Okay, I'll pay it for her then, and she can pay me back.
Yeah, good on you, Jordan. Really nice question, though. So it's a contract law thing. Thanks, Julie.
Yeah, so the point about the parking tickets is my general kind of view is just don't challenge parking tickets from a council, right? Challenge parking tickets from these private operators, but from a council, I wouldn't risk it because there's too much to lose. And,
Thank you. Thanks, Julie. Your little fellow's, he's only 4, isn't he?
Yeah.
So when he's 19, he'll go, Nick, Dad, can you pay this for me? I forgot to cancel this. You wait.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
You wait. It just keeps coming. It's a gift that keeps on giving, isn't it? I love my kids, but, geez, they're expensive. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Sarah. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Yeah, fire away.
I just got a question in regards to a ticketed event. I jumped online. There was a $50 option, and then there was like a free sort of option. Obviously, I go, selected the free one, put 2 tickets through, got the email confirmation with the barcode, all good to go. And about a week later, I got a phone call from the ticketing, I guess, third party saying, there was an error, there shouldn't have been a $0 option, and just to give you a courtesy, we've cancelled the tickets. And I said, is that sort of legal if you've advertised a $0 option? So I just wasn't sure where that stood.
Yeah, so great question. This falls under contract law and a bit of Australian consumer law. So the first question is, would a reasonable person know that this is an obvious error? Was it so clear to you that this was an obvious error, or that wasn't clear? Can you give me some insight about that?
You know, the confirmation you get with your barcode and everything, it actually said cost free. So I just thought it might have been X amount of promotional tickets they had, and once they were gone, they were gone. Because when I went back for another friend, they were gone. So I thought, maybe allocation was exhausted.
Yeah, so it wasn't. It was an event that could likely be free, right? It wasn't like a tickets to Andrea Grande or something like Justin Bieber where no one would get free tickets.
No, exactly. Yeah, it's like a general admin sort of setup.
Yeah. Yeah, so in that case, you probably have there probably could be an enforcement of the contract, right? The only kind of downside is in a contract, there's one loophole for them. You need consideration. So if you have a contract where there's no payment, and payment doesn't have to be money, it has to be some sort of exchange from one person to the other, then they don't have to enforce it. So so in your case, did you give up anything? So anything in exchange for that event? So if you gave up in law, you can give up something as little as a peppercorn. If I give you a peppercorn, the contract's enforceable. That's consideration. But if I don't give up anything, whether a payment or something, it's not enforceable. So could you argue that you gave them anything? Because if you did, then you have an enforceable contract. If you didn't, you don't have consideration because there's no payment from your end or no obligation to perform, and therefore they you can't get them for contract. So it's probably not enforceable. So can you think of anything, Sarah, that you gave up in any way?
Yeah, you kind of have put in your data and your contact details and all that sort of thing, and you've agreed to all the terms and conditions. Yeah. And then I've got the physical, confirmation email with the 2 attachments of the tickets. It has the barcode on it, says free under the cost.
Yeah.
So, I just don't know if they're allowed to revoke that.
Yeah, wow.
So, look, I think that you can go, well, I gave you something in exchange. If they argue consideration, say I gave you some personal details, that's valuable to you, right? It doesn't have to be money. And the second thing is, potentially misleading and deceptive conduct. So try these 2 things and say, no, look, that's enforceable contract or misleading, deceptive conduct obligations. You misled me. This was free when it wasn't under Australian consumer law because it wasn't so obvious that this was not a free event. So therefore, you have to give it to me. So argue that. If they don't give it to you, maybe just give up on it. But you can try those 2 legal options and see if you can persuade
Sarah,
them.
Did you say what event it was?
No, I didn't, and I wasn't sure whether I should mention it, but it's a kind of like a general admin, not a seated event, not a concert. It's kind of like I'm trying to even think of something like a outside in a park venue sort of thing.
Yeah.
Entertainment might be there, but it's just, like a general admin free-for-all.
Yeah,
you can pay at the gate if you want to, or you can prepay tickets, and then there was, the option of the free tickets.
Yeah, well, okay. I don't know. I can't imagine what sort of event that is, Sarah, but anyway, I'll try and work it out. Hey, thanks for your call. I hope that helped.
Thank you.
See
Thank
you,
you very
Sarah.
much.
We'll take a break. We'll come back in just a moment. What would that be, Jimmy? you know what is a sort of a general
Maybe
admin?
a food and wine festival of some description.
Yeah.
Or,
That's pretty good from you, Jim.
No worries, thank you. Just thinking, yeah.
Geez, you're very good. We'll come back. More of Nick Maruchak after these. He's from MKI Legal. Dominic, Brian, please stay there. We'll get to you guys in just a second. We're asking the question today, are we still sub-showroom as a tourist destination? Our numbers are down. The yeses are 42 and the noes are 12. Back after these. Nick Maruchak is with us from MKI Legal. Brendan says it's a bit harsh for the 9-year-old to pay her own wages yet, Bowie. It's the 19-year-old Brendan, but thanks for listening. Appreciate your thoughts. Dominic, hello. Nick's listening. Far away.
How you going? Look, last year I got a judgment against me in the family court to pay my ex-wife a certain amount of money. And I had 30 days to pay it, and I never paid it because I haven't got the money or I can't get a loan. How long does that stand for that she can chase me for the money? Any idea? Or
Off the top of my head, I believe the judgment would be for approximately 6 years. That's the general rule when it
6
comes
years,
to
is it?
enforcement. Yeah. So, so it could be 6 years, but potentially up to 12. So the
right.
So they're the kind of general rules for enforcing judgments. But basically, what I can do is I can just look this up and send you an email just to confirm how long the period is. But if it only happened last year, she's well within time to enforce it. And as you know, if you go through the enforcement process, there's steps that can be taken, such as seizing your assets and garnishing wages and all that kind of stuff. And another option is for you to consider is, well, can you apply to vary the judgment in any way? Because there is some flexibility in the family court to do that. So if I...
Dominic, I'll put you back to Kira and to Sophie, and good luck with it. And Nick will drop you a line if that's okay. Is that all right, mate?
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dominic.
Thank
Kira, Sophie, Dominic coming your way. Hello, Brian.
G'day, mate. Thanks to the lawyer too. I operate a rideshare car and I run audio surveillance inside the car for my own protection more than anything else. But I understand I have to inform the riders that they're being recorded, their voices are being recorded. Just to what level do I need to go to inform them? I've got some stickers on the window, but bearing in mind that most of my work's at night, I don't think they see it most of the time. What does the law require? Is it just the reasonable person test or what?
Yeah, so basically you need to get consent. So there are two. Surveillance Devices Act deals with recording videos and also deals with recording audios. So they're two separate protections. With recording videos, you can record people in public, but you can't record them in private places. So a car would be a private place. With audio, you can't record private conversations, right? People are having. So a conversation in a car would be potentially a private conversation without consent. So in order to get consent, it can be express. So you can ask them, which is not practical, or it can be implied. The implied consent is you put a sticker saying audio and visual and audio recording is taking place in this vehicle, something along those lines. So it's clear it's audio and visual. And if it's very clearly marked and that person sees that sticker and gets in your car, they've given you implied consent to record them. So I've seen those stickers around. I've got myself in Ubers have those stickers, and I was quite comfortable with it. But it's just giving the express audio and visual. If that's what you're doing, that notice should be sufficient. And then you have to also check Uber, like ride sharing have their own policies. Like Uber may, for example, put restrictions on audio recording in Australia and stuff like that. So just check the ride sharing terms and conditions on what they allow drivers to record or not. So if you do that, that would be fine as implied.
How's that, Brian?
Yes, I basically knew that, but could the rider say they didn't see it? So is that what have I got to do to ensure they see it?
Well, put it all around the car, like put it on every entrance, every door they go in, right? So then they can't argue that. Because basically the way it works is, it's a reasonable person, right? So if they can see it, which is if you have one on every single entrance to the door, right in front of on the window, then everyone will be able to see it. And then if you're really, really cautious, the next thing you can do just to protect yourself even more is just tell them, hey, I'm recording you, and then just give them the heads up verbally. But that might become burdensome.
Brian, do you have reasonable people in your vehicle? If that makes sense.
99, almost 100%. Just everybody is great.
Yep.
Except for two in the last 6 years.
Yes.
Yeah. And what are they?
Out of 10,000 people, I've had 2 that have been unreasonable.
Wasn't me, was it, Brian?
So,
No, it was a good-looking bloke didn't have an oblong head. Is that what they're accusing you of today? Something wrong with your head?
Yeah, elongated, I think was the term, Brian. It's being
I
used.
think it's a beautiful head. I've seen it on the internet, mate.
Yeah. Hey, Brian, good question. So there's Nick's advice. Maybe put it on all the entrances and maybe, if you're not sure, maybe have a chat as well, hey?
You've covered all your bases there. And the reality is, if someone complains, they have to go to the police, WA prosecutor, right? They're the ones that make a decision to prosecute. So if you've got stickers on your car and I'm the prosecutor, I'm going, well, this is not in the public interest to prosecute this. The guy's complied with everything, so it's unlikely for there to be any criminal charges. So if you do that, you should be fine.
2 out of 10,000 in 6 years isn't bad, Brian.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Must be doing something right,
I'm
mate.
happy with that.
Nice little...
No, they reckon I've done something wrong twice.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you this, Brian. You sound like a decent, reasonable person.
Well, I'm glad you think so. Yeah.
What do you do if someone leaves a phone or a set of keys in your ride-share vehicle? What do you do? I know it varies widely, and it's probably a personal choice thing. What do you do?
I wait till they ring.
Yep. And if they ring, you pick up straight away, or? If you
yeah,
can?
I do my best to get the gear back to them because it becomes an enormous problem. The sooner you can find out about it and get it back to them, the best. Sometimes I get the impression that it was my fault they left it in there. So
yeah. All right.
Do they give you a tip as well when you deliver it to them?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I left my keys in an Uber before and drove around the lady's house and gave her a tip.
Yep.
Thanks, Brian. Good to talk to you, mate. Have a good day.
Thank you, gents. Bye-bye.
See you, mate. Brian, a keen 6PR listener. It varies on the platform and really comes down to the operator. And if it's not their vehicle, they're operating on behalf of someone else.
Yeah.
It can take a couple of days, but I think most people try and do the right thing, passengers and drivers, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I've left some stuff in the car after a few late night drinking sessions. And, the driver was excellent. They gave it back. So
Did they charge you?
No, they didn't, but I did tip.
Yeah.
So because I just knew that it was all my fault and they went out of the way. So yeah, but in Brian's situation, just check Uber's terms and conditions because some of them may not allow recording audio. They may only allow recording video. So that's just another thing to check because that's a whole other set of problems if you breach their terms and conditions.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. Nice to hear from you. Nick, well done. It's flown by today.
Yep.
Thank you. Nice to get a few calls, wasn't it? Next time I see you next week, I know you prepared some information on strata title.
Yep, some traps.
Yeah, tips
to
and
avoid.
traps.
Yep.
Yeah, all right. We'll do that next week, hey?
Sounds good.
Okay. Thank you, mate. See ya.
See ya.
Nick Maruchak from MKI Legal. Thanks for listening in. 3 minutes to 11. Collis, M. Not far away. I'll tell you what we're going to be looking at today in just a sec. Thank you for listening.